In this session, I'm going to show you how to gather student understanding using Google Keep. So what exactly is Google Keep? Well, Google Keep is an organizational tool for capturing, storing, and referencing information on the fly. It's part of the whole G Suite for Education apps that Google has produced, and it does integrate with many of the apps that are already available to us. It allows users to add notes by typing or recording their voice, and a speech-to-text feature automatically transcribes the text. Users can also create to-do lists and add images either by taking a photo or the device's camera by adding an image stored on the device. Each note has several customization options. Users can set a reminder for the note, change its color, tag it with a category, share it, or remove it from the screen by placing it in the archive or the trash. I'll show you how to go through all these steps in a few minutes, but the next slide is going to show you how you can actually integrate Google Keep into each of the disciplines that you may teach. So how can students actually use Google Keep in their classes? Well, for their math class, they can use it for equation visualization, which means that they can create notes with drawings to showcase how equations work with visuals. They can also find tutorials on a website such as Khan Academy that helps them understand the mathematical concept or process and save it to Google Keep by using the Keep Chrome extension. I will also show you how to add the extension and how it works later on in this video. Students can even go a step further and take notes summarizing the parts of the tutorial that assisted in their understanding. In science classes, they can use Google Keep for step-by-step experiments. They can create a list of the tasks needed to complete an experiment and check them off as they go. They can also learn about the scientific method and check off each step of the process as it's completed. With each step, they can also take a picture, write notes on it, or draw an image that represents how they completed that step. In ELA, they can use Google Keep for crowdsourcing a summary. Students can work together to create summaries as they read assigned chapters throughout a class. Furthermore, students can create accompanying drawings that showcase the main event or events in a chapter. Students can share notes and collaborate with each other in order to gain a better understanding of what the material was about. Students also working on their writing can organize all of their notes in a single place under a single label. These notes can then be shared with other participating peers, the instructor, family, or friends to gain feedback via drawing, text, or images. In history or social studies, students can use Google Keep to take notes on a field trip. They can use their phones to take pictures on field trips to museums or historical sites. Once taken, these images can then be appended with dictated notes describing what the student has learned from the site or artifact shown on the image. This can also be done on a virtual field trip or just by going to any other website, gathering information, and taking their notes that way. Students can also use Google Keep for historical recreation. Students learning about historical events can draw out their visualization of how they occurred with written or dictated notes providing brief summaries. And finally, Google Keep can help students get organized on the web. They can use the Chrome extension of Google Keep to mark, organize by labels, and take quick notes about interesting articles or websites they find on the web. They can also use Google Keep for journaling. Students can take a picture every day of a specified period of time, a week, a month, or a year, and write a note that describes how they're thinking or feeling. This could be used to check in at the beginning or end of each class and to keep students engaged while learning remotely. Now I'm going to show you how to access Google Keep, how to find the extension, and how to put it into practice. To access Google Keep, what you want to do is go here to the upper right-hand corner where you see the Google Apps waffle. Once you click on it, you're going to scroll down until you see the Google Keep icon, which is a yellow button with the light bulb on it. Once you click on that, it will open up Google Keep and take you to the dashboard. Here you'll see the dashboard broken up as follows. Where it says Notes, this is where all the notes that you take in Google Keep will appear. Next, you have Reminders. This is where all of the notes you've taken that you've set reminders to will appear. And this next section is where you can edit labels and add labels to each of the notes that you take. And then finally, you can archive notes when you're done with them. So instead of deleting it, you might want to go back to them in the future. You can click archive and all of your archived notes will show up here. Finally, here's the trash can where all of your deleted notes show up. So coming back here to the main screen or notes, as you can see, I already have a couple of notes set up. But to take a note, it's just as simple as coming up here to this box where it says take a note. Once you click on the field here, you can start typing in your notes. As you can see, once I start typing, I just started typing in the note that I want to say. I can add a title to it. And then we can start going through the following options. First, you can set a reminder to this. So say if a student wants to remind themselves that they have to do their homework that night, or turn in certain notes the next day, or collaborate with a peer, or have a meeting with the teacher, all they would have to do is click on this little bell right here that says remind me. Once you do that, you can customize what kind of reminder you want to set for the note. So you can pick from later today, tomorrow, next week, or you can pick your own date and time. You can customize it by the date, you can put a custom time in, and then you want to make sure that it doesn't repeat. Or if you want to repeat and have an ongoing reminder, you can set it for either daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or so on. So once you've selected the time frame that you want the reminder to be for, all you have to do is click save, and then right here you'll see the reminder set for the note. You can always go back in and click on it and change it as need be. If you want to share your notes with people, whether it's with fellow students or peers to get feedback on an assignment you're working on, or if you want to share the notes that you've taken with your teacher, all you have to do is click on this little person icon that says collaborator. Once this comes up, you just start typing in the name of the person that you want to share it with and click save, and then it will automatically be shared with that person, very similar to sharing any other Google Docs, slides, sheets, etc. with somebody else. It works the same way. Next, we have this little palette icon, which will allow you to change the color of the notes that you're taking, so it'll make it look like a sticky note. You can also add an image to your notes to kind of make your notes stand out a little bit more and almost explain whatever it is that you're talking about. So if you click on that, it will allow you to upload an image from your computer. This button right here will allow you to archive your note when you're done. So it's very similar to Google Classroom. Instead of deleting everything, you might want to save it for future use. So you would just click on archive. And once you do that, it will show up under here, your archive tab, where all your other notes will be. There are more options. Once you click on these three dots right here, you can either delete the note altogether, you can add a label to it, you can add a drawing to the note, you can make a copy of it, show checkboxes, or you can copy it to Google Docs. So when you're done with your note, you can click close, and it will show up here with all the rest of your notes. Other options up here, you can start a note by creating a new list. You can take a note that has a drawing in it, or you can take a note with an image in it. So a note with a drawing will look as follows. If I click on this option, it has this little drawing area that appears that's very similar to Google Jamboard, if you're familiar with that. So it's got very similar options. You have your eraser option, you have your pen option, you have your marker option, you have your highlighter option, and then you have this grid where you can change the background. So right now there's no filter on the background, so it's just a blank white screen. Otherwise, you can make it ruled, so it looks like a sheet of paper. You can put dots on it, or you can make it square to look like grids. So all you have to do is once you select whatever kind of background that you want, you're going to come up here to whatever type of drawing or whatever type of utensil you want to use, whether it's a pen or a marker. You can customize the color that you're going to use. You can change the thickness of what that drawing is going to look like. So then once you're done, you can just start drawing on the board altogether. When you're done, you're just going to click this back button right here, and all of a sudden you'll see it saved to the note. You can put a title to it. Type in what your title of your note is, type in what your notes are, Customize it again however you want. If you want to share it with people, add alerts, change the color of the background, and so on. And then you're going to click close when you're done. And as you can see, your note's going to show up here with your drawing on it. Same thing's going to happen if you want to insert a picture, and so on. Another thing you can do with this is that you can actually pin your notes to make them kind of stand out. So the more notes you can create, as you can see, it's just going to start filling up this screen right here. So if you want some notes to stand out from each other, or you want to place kind of emphasis on more important ones, what you can do is pin them. So all you have to do is just come up here and click on the little pin. And once I click on pin note, as you can see, it moves it up to the very top and pushes everything down. So that will allow you to focus on whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's a reminder for yourself or whatever class you're working on at the time. If you're taking notes there, it can all be pinned and kind of show right up here at the top. To access the Google Keep Chrome extension, what you want to do is go up here to the upper left-hand corner where it says Apps. You want to click on that to get to the web store. Go ahead and click on the web store, and then you want to search Google Keep. You want to click on the first extension that pops up here that says Google Keep Chrome extension. And then click on the blue button that says Add to Chrome. And again, you want to add the extension. And then once it's been successfully added, it's going to show up here under your extensions bar and tell you that it has been added to Chrome. So I'm just going to go up here and pin it to my extensions so I can use it for future uses. So what I'm going to do next is show you an example of students maybe having to take notes from a website or do some research on a certain topic, and this is what they can do to kind of gather some of that information and save their notes to just one spot that they can then use to incorporate it into Google Docs or Google Slides. So in this example, students are going to have to research the history of computers. So they've navigated their way to the website that they want to pull the information from. So what they're going to do now is go up here into their extension bar and click on the Google Keep extension. As I do that, you can see that it copies over the website address that they're on. You can add a title to this and then start typing in the notes that you want to take from the website. As I start typing, as you can see, it's automatically starts saving. This will save it directly into Google Keep. You can keep going on and taking other notes throughout the website, but if you're done, all you have to do is just click on this little icon here that says Opening Keep. And when you do that, it will break it out to a new tab, take you right into Google Keep, show you what the new note is that you just took, and we'll put it in here with the rest of your notes. So from here, I'm going to go over to my Google Docs to act as if I'm writing out my paper. I want to access my notes that I just took in Google Keep. I'm going to go over here to the side panels. When this opens, you'll see three icons. You see Calendar, Google Keep, and Tasks. All I want to do is click on Google Keep. It will open up all my notes. I'm going to go down to the note that I want to add to my document, click on the three dots, and click Add to Document. As you can see, it pops up the title, the website I got this from, and then the notes that I took on it. Same thing applies to Google Slides. I'm going to go over here to Google Slides, come down here to my side panel, find Google Keep, find the notes that I want to import onto it. Again, click the three dots, click on Add to Slide, and it imports the information into Google Slides. There's so many more things you can do with Google Keeps within your classes, but this basic tutorial will get you well on your way to helping students gather their understanding using Google Keep.